Hey guys, welcome to my channel. As you can see, I have a really off looking makeup on my face. That is because we are creating a Halloween edition full on makeup transformation and a little bit of costume. And I already have my base on. I have really harsh lines of contour on my face, and I've also really darkened up the hollows of my eyes to make myself really dead and dehydrated for this look. So I'm going over with the bronzer more and going over those harsh lines to make it look even more harsh, to give myself that skinny, sculpted and the malnourished look of a dead. So next I'm just taking a thin liner brush with a really sharp and thin tip, and I'm going to draw veins right under my eyes. For that I'm taking this palette by Makeup Revolution. It's called Fortunerously Brave, and I'm taking that mauvey purpley shade, and I'm just drawing those veins right under my eyes. Okay, now there is no way to draw this particular veins. I'm going with a very light-handed hand and drawing these roots looking like lines right under my eyes, and I'm not dragging it, I'm not pressing it too hard, very lightly going over my under eye. So for this makeup look, I did go a little too far and I created a little story in my mind of a real fictional character, and I think I'm in their world. So the backup story of this entire look is I was a queen, okay? I was a queen and I was a living being. Oh wow, that rhymed. Very nice. Unfortunately, one day my douchebag husband, the king, decided to slit my throat into halves, and yes, I was murdered, sadly. And that is it. I mean, that's the end of the story. I am no Chetan Bhagat to give you romance, thriller and suspense in my stories. So the veins are pretty much done, and I've done that under both my eyes and it's looking good to me. Anyways, so since I was murdered, obviously my soul is not at peace, and I'm literally craving for vengeance, and it's that time of the year, it's Halloween, and I'm gonna come out of my grave and scare the shit out of every single person that did annoy me or trouble me when I was alive. So for that I really need a really creepy and scary looking get up and a makeup look. Moving on to the scars, bruising and the bloody part, I'm going to use some scar wax and I'm gonna start rolling it and make it a longer length so that it covers up the area from my smile line to my earlobe, and I'm still rolling it, I guess. My body was screaming out in pain. The seat was so uncomfortable. I think I was sitting on a rock. Yeah, probably a rock. Anyways, so I'm just going to stick this piece of wax on my skin, and as you can see, it does require a few attempts to make the piece stick to your skin. I'm just going to run my fingers through it and let the warmth of my finger stick the wax onto my face. And then I'm going to take a spoon with the back. I'm going to start spreading out the edges, blending it into my skin so that it sticks well, and the piece of the scar wax starts looking like my skin. It did take me some time to make the scar wax stick to my skin well, but once it stick, it did stay on. Spreading out both the sides really well, blending into my skin. Take your time, it does need some time. And yeah, it's starting to stick now. Okay, so right when I thought it was starting to stick, it has decided to test my patience now. I mean, yeah, I'm struggling at 3 a.m. Yes, I'm filming this at 3 a.m. I did take this makeup look a bit too seriously, I guess, and I really wanted to feel like the real chills of Halloween while doing this makeup look. No, I'm just kidding. I am really high on energy at night. I have the energy of a crackhead, a literal crackhead at night. So, and also, I don't have like just two people walking into my room 500 times a day. And at night, it's hassle free and it's the most quiet I can get my surrounding to be. After like 3 to 5 full moon nights, it has finally decided to stick. So I'm going to create this line with the back of my spoon, and I'm just separating it into two pieces. So I'm separating one piece into two pieces. Okay, I'm drawing this line right through the middle. Here I'm taking a really pale foundation. This is by Estee Lauder. I'm using my damn beauty blender, and I'm just going to blend it over the scar, just trying to match it with the rest of my face. Using this bloody red lipstick by Huda Beauty, I'm just applying over the gap that I created. So this is like the only blood looking like liquid color I had. You can even use poster colors if you have. Lightly tapping over the area around the cut, just spreading the color out, making it look more bruised. Using the same palette that I used earlier, I'm just going to use browns, violets, maroons and black, just spreading around the cut, making the skin look really bruised and bloody. So I kept going back and forth with the same shade of colors until I was really satisfied with the way my cut was looking. Here I'm just repeating the entire process on my other side as well, going for the same cut I have on my other side. So on this event of Halloween, let me share a creepy incident that happened to me and my friend back in the day. Mostly to my friend, however, I was a part of it too. So when we tried telling it to our parents, no freaking body believed us, okay? My dad, he was like, dear, you were just both hallucinating. And they actually thought we were sick or something, but no, we were not. It was all for real, completely based on a true event. So me and my friend, we both were 14-15 years old, and we were in school, and she started getting calls from this number, one particular number. Initially we ignored it, and one time we thought it must be one of those bullies from school, just trying to mess with us, but no, it was not. In the beginning we got calls like 2-3 times a month, and then it came down to one call per day. Yes, we freaking flipped out of our bodies. We both are such pussies, being fearless, valiant, interpret. Nope, we've never heard of all of that. If I'm near 0.1% being courageous, she's not even on a scale of 0. She's in a minus scale. So whenever we picked up those calls, there was no one responding. Those were all blank calls. We kept getting this blank calls for more than a month, and a few times we did heard a ceiling fan moving, and one fine day we also heard a girl crying in the background. Yes, that did happen, believe it or not. So let me just give a name to this friend of mine, say Nina. So Nina told her brother about it, and he did agree to help us out. And we did not like tell our parents anymore because they did not believe us in the first place, so why bother now? So Nina's brother had a friend who was like a cyber expert. He did some studies on that field and he digged out some information about it. The number belonged from a different city, okay, a nearby city. And that city was this guy's bloody freaking hometown. So yeah, it's like such coincidence or whatever. And obviously he did had some friends from that city, so he got one of his friends go to that address that was associated with the number, and his friend found out there was an old lady living in that house, okay, and she had a son. That son wasn't living there anymore. He moved out of the house a few months back, the mother said, and there were no daughters, like no girl in that house. The rest of the information that friend got it out from the neighbors. You know how the neighbors can be, they're same all around the world. They can never keep that little thing on their face shut, that little opening, And say for mine are the most quiet, nice contributing people. They always contribute such fascinating, innovative sound effects for my background. Thank you. So the neighbors said this son, he was engaged to this girl and they both were living in the same house along with his mother. But she was sick, she was suffering, and she was suffering from something really deadly. And after like suffering for a good 4 to 5 years, one day she passed away. We found out the phone number belonged to the son, and he was using that number. He was using that when she was alive. It was an active number. But once she passed away, that number was no longer in service and it was shut down. It did not exist anymore. But we dumbheads, we both kept getting calls. Not both, I mean she kept getting calls from this number all the time, and we could never call the number back because obviously it did not exist. Those guys who were digging out all the information went a little too far, and I mean, we never asked for an investigation. They did that on their own. They got a little too curious to why Nina was getting all those calls. We were 15-year-old dumbheads going to school, minding our own shit, and the only crime, the only bad thing we did back then was eating the cream part of the biscuit and keeping the biscuit back in the container. That's all we did. I mean, how are we even related to this people? I mean, we did not even know they existed until this incident happened. So yeah, and the question is who was calling us? That girl, the man, I don't know. I mean, we'll never know who was calling us and why they were calling us, why Nina particularly. This little question to why and how they were able to call us for a non-existing number and who was calling us will always be a mystery. I mean, we'll never find out, but we're glad to find out whatever we found out. We can now just choke on ourselves and die peacefully, I guess. This entire incident, it did age well. I mean, we're all grown up now, we've moved along with our lives. It's in the past and we're not looking back, but our families, they still don't believe us. Our parents still don't believe us. They still think we're making it, we're faking it. Brown parents, I tell you. No one can help them. Both the side of my face is done. Now moving on to my neck, the throat, and I'm creating a slit throat here. So I'm using some scar wax, the same scar wax, and I'm blending it into my skin, doing the same process all over again. I'm blending the edges with the help of the spoon, and yeah, again I'm struggling. The struggle is real here, but I'm doing it. Remember how I said once you get the wax to stick on, it just stays on? Guess what? It doesn't. Yeah. It's just oily, I think, because the wax has a lot of oil, a lot of grease, and it's not just sticking to my skin. So I'm going with some baking powder, mattifying the area for the wax to really stick onto my skin. The major parts of this look is almost done, and I'm just going and applying shadows over areas which needs a little fill up. And I'm going to take some more shadows, just creating little bruises all over my body. Here I'm taking some more bronzer and applying it around my collarbone, my shoulder area, just to bring back a little bit of color because my skin was looking really pale and flat. Next I'm taking this cotton pad, dipping it into the DIY blood, and I'll be applying this all over the cuts to give it more of an SFX effect and make it look more real. Gently pressing it against the cuts and not squeezing it or pressing it too hard because it's really liquidy and sticky. It can get really messy, so you have to be a little careful. With the help of a cotton pad, I'm dropping a few drops of blood over the cut. I want the scar to look like a real fresh cut with all the blood dripping out of it. I have absolutely nowhere to go once I get done with this makeup look. It will be around 6 in the morning. Just take a few pictures and take off the makeup, I guess. Oh no, I can do one thing. I can attempt a little scare prank on my mom because my dad doesn't give a shit, neither the kids. So all I've got is my mom. Hopefully don't get thrown out of my own house. We are almost done with the makeup look. I'll just add 2 more accessories to make this look even more creepier. This is the finished look, you guys. The eyes are giving me the creeps, the cuts are looking really juicy and bloody, all the blood dripping out, really fresh. I mean, this isn't a fruit juice review, I'm missing them, but you get my point, right, how the look is. Also, I completed this look with the help of a crown. This crown is made out of my old necklace. Also, the dress is very old, it already had stains, so it was perfect for this look. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. The struggle was real, but I had a blast filming it. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like, drop down your views on the comment section below. I do have a lot of other videos coming up on this channel, and make sure you subscribe and turn on the notification bell so that we can see each other soon. Thank you so much for sticking to the end. Stay safe, don't lose your chill, and I'll see you guys until my next video. Love you. Bye, and also happy Halloween.